reason you started your own interior design business was for freedom, right? More creative freedom, more financial freedom, the ability to control your own schedule, yes? So today we're going to be talking all about how to make sure that you work less, make more, and only work on the jobs that totally light you up. I'm Sandra Funk, and this is Design Sips. Cheers. Let's dig in. My first and easiest way to work less and make more is to only take on ideally sized projects. Years ago, I wanted to really understand my profitability, one project versus another. And when I did all the deep dive into the data and I ran all the numbers, what we found was the smaller projects do not garner the same level of profit that a larger project does. And it's obvious in hindsight, right? All those little projects mean all those relationships that we have to oversee, onboard, go through the potential client process, communicate with, right? Just because it's a smaller project does not mean we do a smaller design process or we do any less of the experience, communication, relationship stuff, right? So when we manage fewer relationships and we create fewer extraordinary experiences, we are able to make more money per the larger clients. First things first is to really try to understand what is your ideal client. Not only a nice person, but also the size of the project. I think if you went back to your project data and you looked at your profitability by project, you would also see that those larger projects were more profitable than those little one room or maybe, pillows and lampshades and a paint color kind of projects. So when you really dig into the analysis, I guarantee you'll find the same result that I've come up with, and hundreds of other designers have also gone and done this deep dive and found the same results. First things first, figure out what is your ideal project and then put your antennas up and keep an eye out for it, right? Make sure that you're saying no to the small little nitpicky projects. They will take a ton of time, they take the same process, and leave room for those great big ideal projects in your pipeline. Cheers to that. So another great way to make sure that you're being efficient and thus more profitable is to not recreate the wheel with every single project that you do. I used to think that every single design project was completely different because one was a renovation, one was a decoration, one was a build from scratch. But what I've found over the years, and I know to be true now, is that just because they're different in scope does not mean that they're different in process. Like we spoke about, every project gets the same potential client process, the same onboarding process, the same communication level throughout the project, the same little touches that make the experience memorable and referable. All of those things can be documented and systematized and have clear checklists, or if you're in my worldview, maybe there's a repeatable template inside of Asana that tells every team member exactly what's supposed to happen next every single time you do another design project. Think about it. Every project goes through a high-level design inspiration, right? Collecting those images, figuring out what we're gonna do. It goes through a process of identifying the budget. It goes through a process of double checking that all that is on par with the clients, and then we dig into the detailed design. It doesn't matter if it's a decoration only, a build, a renovate. They all go through high-level concept all the way down to detailed design, to purchasing, to execution. So when you systematize them, document everything, refine it, edit it, make sure you don't have any duplicities. Duplication of effort? Let's go with duplication of effort. Making sure you don't have duplication of effort, making sure that you're efficient, making sure that communication is clear and concise. Once you've done that once, template it. Do it again and again and again and again. And you will become more and more efficient and more profitable every time that you repeat that process instead of starting all over again every single time you get a new client. Yes? Yes. Cheers. The last tip that I can tell you, and it's so strategic and it's so important, and it can be one of the biggest hurdles to get through, but it is so valuable, is to start charging a flat design fee instead of hourly. As you become more efficient, as you become systematized and streamlined, as you do the same process over and over and over again, you become quicker at it, right? Anything that you do over and over again, you become more efficient. So when you charge hourly, the more experienced you are, the more organized you are, the more streamlined, efficient, and documented you are, the less you make. Confusing? Confusing. So what I want you to think about is that your value is going up throughout your entire career while it is taking you less time to do the exact same job. Of course, they're all different, but you know what I'm saying. So what you want to make sure that you're doing over the course of your career, especially as you become more seasoned and you really start to become efficient, is change to a flat design fee. And then the more and more efficient that you become, the more and more money stays in your pocket. I think that's worth drinking to, don't you? Absolutely. What I know for sure is that the higher end clients you start to work with, the more they love a flat fee. One of the things that you can do to just get yourself ready for that high-end luxury client and those flat fees is check out my next video, Break into the Luxury Market. I'll see you soon. Cheers, y'all.